Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Jayādvaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jayādvaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Krishna
Jai Om Vishnupad Puramansa Parivraj Kacharya Stotra Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Jayādvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kundagiri Gauri Ki Jai Jagannath Ki Jai Gangamaya Ki Jai Shamanamaya Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Thank you all for coming. We're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 4, starting with text 108. Today is December 8th, 2022 in New York, one day later in Vrindavan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimidantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padar Mahyam Dadhati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raghunatam Vitam Stam Sivivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shahagana Lolita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Deen Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Holi Priye Vansha Kopitarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Yevacha Padita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Jayādvaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. In this portion of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami has been discussing the internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. He's affirmed that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself experiencing the mood of Srimati Radharani in the role of the devotee. And especially in his later pastimes, he tastes the mood of separation from Krishna. Ratre pralapa kore swarupera kantatari abeshe apanapava kahaye ukadi. At night, he talked incoherently in grief, with his arms around Swarup Damodar's neck. He spoke out his heart an ecstatic, ecstatic devotion. But I'm ahead of myself, actually. Ecstatic inspiration. That's too far ahead. 108. That was 109. Radhika che Uddhava darshane che bhave mata prabhu rohe ratridine. Just as I'm mad at the sight of Uddhava, so Lord Chaitanya was obsessed day and night with the madness of separation. Those under the shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand that his mode of worship of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, in separation, is the real worship of the Lord. When the feelings of separation become very intense, one attains the stage of meeting Sri Krishna. So-called devotees, like the Sahajiyas, cheaply imagine they are meeting Krishna in Vrindavan. Such thinking may be useful, but actually meeting Krishna is possible through the attitude of separation taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood, feeling separation from Krishna, and by that separation, being intensely united with Krishna. Ratre pralapa kore swarupera kantadhari aveshaya panabhav kahaye ugari. Now, at night he talked coherently in grief with his arms around Swarupara in ecstatic inspiration. Provijay bhav ute pravur antar Shekiti Dana Damodar. Whenever a particular sentiment arose in his heart, Swarup Damodar satisfied him by singing songs or reciting verses of the same nature. E bekarja nahi kichu e shab bichare ageiha bibariba koria vistare. To analyze these pastimes is not necessary now. Later I shall describe them in detail. Purve braje Krishner Trivitha Vayo Dharma Kaumara Pauganda Ar Kaishor Atimarma. Formerly in Braja, Lord Krishna displayed 3 ages, namely childhood, boyhood, and adolescence. His adolescence is especially significant. Vatsalya abeshe koilo komara safal. O ganga safal koila la sakabal. Parental affection made his childhood fruitful. His boyhood was successful with his friends. So Krishna has 3 ages, Kaumara, Pauganda, Kaishur. So the Pauganda was especially appreciated in the mood of parental love, Kaumar, friendship, and Kaishur is in relationship to conjugal love. Radhikari la koila rashari bilash amshabhari aswadila rashera nirihash. In youth he tasted the essence of ras, fulfilling his desires in pastimes like the rasa dance with Srimati Radhika and the other gopis. Kaishor Bayase Kama Jagat Sokal Rashadi Lilai Teen Korila Safal. In his youth, Lord Krishna made all three of his ages and the entire universe successful by his pastimes of amorous love, like the rasa dance. Sodaka Vayo Manayan Madhusudanaha Reme Sri Ratna Kutasta Shapasu Shapitataha. Lord Madhusudan enjoyed his youth with pastimes on autumn nights in the midst of the jewel-like milkmaids. Thus, he dispelled the misfortunes of the world. This is a verse from the Vishnu Purana. Vacha suchita sarvari ratikala pragalpyaya radhikam vrida kunchita lochanam virachayan agre sati namaso tad vakshoruha chitrakeli makori panditya param gata Kaishoram sapari karoti kalayan kunje viharam hari. Lord Krishna made Srimati Radharani close her eyes in shame before her friends by his words relating their amorous activities on the previous night. Then he showed the highest limit of cleverness by performing pastimes in the bushes with Sri Radha and her friends. This is a verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Sri Rupa Goswami. Harireshan Ached Avatarishan Rayam Madharakshi Radhikacha Abhavishyad Iyamrita Visrishtir Makarankastu Visheshatas Taratri. O Purnamasi, if Lord Hari had not descended in Mathura with Srimati Radharani, this entire creation, and especially Cupid, the demigod of love, would have been useless. This verse is spoken by Sri Vrindadevi in the Vidagdha Madhava of Srila Rupa Goswami. E matta purbe Krishna Rasher Shadan Yadyapi Korila Rasha Niyasa Charvan Tatapi Mahila Teen Vanchita Puran Taha Aspadite Jodi Korila Vivaton. Even though Lord Krishna, the abode of all mellows, had previously, in this way, chewed the essence of the mellows of love, still he was unable to fulfill three desires, although he made efforts to taste them. Tahar pratam bancha koriye vyakyan Krishna kahe ami hai rasher nidam. I shall explain his first desire. So there's this is all unpacking a verse from the invocation where the internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance are described. It mentions three reasons, and now we're dealing with the first. Krishna says, I am the primary cause of all rasas. Purnamandamaya ami chinmay purnatattva radhikar premeyama koraya ummata. I am the full spiritual truth and am made of full joy. But the love of Srimati Radharani drives me mad. Najani Radhar Preme Ache Kotabal Ye Bole Amar Kore Sarvada Vibal. I do not know the strength of Radha's love, with which she always overwhelms me. Radhikar Prema Guru Ami Shishya Nata Sada Ama Nana Ritye Nachai Vibhakta. The love of Radhika is my teacher, and I am her dancing pupil. Her prema makes me dance various novel dances. Kasma Brinde Priyasaki Hare Padamulat Kutosa Kunda Ranye Kimiha Kurute Nritya Siksham Guruka Tam Twan Murti Pratituru Tam Digvidikshu Spuranti Shailu Shiva Brahmati Padato Nartayanti Swapaschad. O my beloved friend Vrinda, where are you coming from? I'm coming from the feet of Sri Hari. Where is he? In the forest, on the bank of Radha Kunda. What is he doing there? He's learning dancing. Who is his master? Your image, Radha, revealing itself in every tree and creeper, in every direction, is roaming like a skillful dancer, making him dance behind. This text is from the Govinda Lilamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Nija premasvade mor hoye alhad taha hote kotigun radha premasvad. Whatever pleasure I get from tasting my love for Srimati Radharani, she tastes 10 million times more than me by her love. Ami yoiche porospora virudha dharmashray radha prema toiche shada virudha dharmamoy. Just as I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics, so Radha's love is always full of similar contradictions. Radha prema vibhu jar bharite nahitaye tatapi sakane kane varaye shravaya. Radha's love is all pervading, leaving no room for expansion, but still it is expanding constantly. Yahabai guru vastu nahi sunishtu chitta tatapi guru dharma gaurava orjita. There is nothing greater than her love, but her love is devoid of pride. That is the sign of its greatness. Yahahoite shunir mala tatapi sarvada vamya vakra vyavahar. Nothing is purer than her love, but its behavior is always perverse and crooked. Vibhurapi Kalyan Sadabhi Fridhim Gururapi Gaudavacharya Vikina Muhurupachita Vakrimapi. Jayati love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mura. Although it is all-pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, this is a verse from the Dan Keli Komedi of Srila Rupa Goswami. She Premar Sri Radhika Parama Ashray She Premar Ami Hai Kevala Ashray. Sri Radhika is the highest abode of that love, and I am its only object. Vishoy Jatiya Shuka Amar Ashvad Ama Hoite Kotigun Ashrayer Alpad. I taste the bliss to which the object of love is entitled. But the pleasure of Radha, the abode of that love, is 10 million times greater. Ashray Jatiya Shuka Paite Mon Thai Ratne Aspadite Nari Ki Kuri. Mind races to taste the pleasure experienced by the abode, but I cannot taste it, even by my best efforts. How may I taste it? Kabujari Hoye Ashroy Tabe Premanunder Anubhav. If sometime I can be the abode, only then may I taste its joy. Purport. Vishai and Ashray are two very significant words relating to the reciprocation between Krishna and his devotee. The devotee is called the Ashray, and his beloved, Krishna, is the Vishai. Different ingredients are involved in the exchange of love between the Ashray and Vishai, which are known as Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvic, and Vibhav. Vibhav is divided into the two categories, Alambana and Udipana. Alambana may be further divided into Ashray and Vishai. In the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, Radharani is the Ashray feature, and Krishna the Vishai. The transcendental consciousness of the Lord tells him, the pleasure enjoyed by Radharani, the Ashray, is many times greater than the pleasure I feel. Therefore, to feel the pleasure of the Ashray category, Lord Krishna appeared as Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Kodama Kautuki Hridoye Varare Prema Lopa Taki. Thinking in this way, Lord Krishna was curious to taste that love. His eager desire for that love increasingly blazed in his heart. So this is the first internal reason for Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's descent to adopt the mood of the ashray, the person experiencing love for Krishna. All right, are there some questions, comments? Yes,
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I was just thinking how when Krishna says, my mind races to taste that pleasure, but I cannot taste it. How may I taste it? I was thinking it's reminiscent to me of the conundrum sometimes people raise, that if God, can God create a thing that's so heavy he couldn't lift it? But only Krishna himself can create a conundrum like this, that he can only solve by appearing as Lord Caitanya. And
he needs to find ways and means.
Yeah. A question came to my mind in a much earlier verse from tonight that you were reading, wherein it was listed the various, the three ages of Krishna's pastimes, at least in the material world that we see. And I guess to me, it brought to mind a conundrum too, in the sense that our understanding is that what we see in this world has its completion and its perfection in the spiritual world. And so Krishna, when he descends here, he shows pastimes as Poganda and Kumar. But are we to understand that those ages don't exist at all in the spiritual world? Or how is that best understood?
Yes, Krishna's childhood, as far as I understand, doesn't exist at all in the spiritual world. That's, he's born and then he grows up. That pertains to the material world, or his appearance in the material world. Whether Poganda is there, whether his boyhood is there, I don't have a clear thought in my mind about that. I don't have a reference about that. And Kaishore, of course, is the prominent age, or maybe the only one. Again, I don't have a reference in my thought. Anything more on that? Okay, Tulsi Priya.
Maharaj, maybe I have too much of the Bhagavatam classes in my mind, but I was thinking about how if Krishna is eternally Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he is eternally having this experience of being a devotee, while simultaneously also as Krishna not having the experience of being a devotee and being the object of love. So I was just wondering, that is the case, is it not? And it's going on eternally. Yeah. One question about Krishna's age. I think I remember reading in the Bhagavad Gita that Prabhupada says Krishna never appears. The oldest he ever appears is 25, and so he would proceed to Yovana age then.
It means that Krishna never gets old. Kaishore, he's just like a fresh young boy, a young man, like that. Even when he's 125 years by worldly calculation, he's still youthfully on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He's young, just as Abhimanyu was there, a young man. So Krishna also shows a youthful feature.
I don't know if you heard me completely, because you're dropping out for me sometimes, so I don't know if I'm dropping out for you sometimes, but when I was saying, I know Krishna goes to 125 years of age in his earthly pastimes, but I remember reading that Prabhupada says that he never appears older than the age of 25. So that would be another. So Kaishore and Yovana are distinct, but it seems like for something like Dwarka pastimes, it seems like Yovana would be more appropriate anyways, because he's a prince. He's not a kid so much.
Yeah, I don't have further more to say, except that basically it would seem that this Yovan is subsumed under.
I see.
Sure.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Saraswati. These verses confirm that the happiness derived from giving love is more relishable than receiving love. Yes. Also, if the love of Radharani is devoid of all pride, then what of the pride experienced by her and the gopis during the rasa dance, where Krishna disappeared due to noticing their pride? Yeah, at different times it's seen different ways. The Krishna says no pride in her love, but then on other occasions he says, oh, she's become proud. So we're reading there are mutually contradictory features in the characteristics of Srimati Radharani. So the specific contradiction given is that her love is pure and it's devoid of pride. But then another contradiction is that although it's devoid of pride, sometimes she shows pride also. These things are there. Also, what kind of duplicity mentioned in the verse exists in Radharani's pure love? Well, there's all sorts of, what would you say, things going on. She's, Krishna, don't touch me. Krishna, I don't want anything to do with you. This is all aimed at getting Krishna more entangled in a loving relationship with her. But externally, it appears that she's angry with Krishna, that she doesn't want anything to do with Krishna. So this is duplicity, saying one thing when your real intention is just the opposite. Okay. So let us return to reading. Prakar Shah Madhur Jadeki Krishna Gorain Bichar. That is one desire. Now please hear another. Seeing his own beauty, Lord Krishna began to consider. Adbhuta Ananta Purna Mor Madhurna Sri Jagote Ihar Keva Nahi Pai Singha. My sweetness is wonderful. No one in the three worlds can find its limit. E prema dware nitya radhika ekali amar madhur jamrata ashrade shokali. Only Radhika, by the strength of her love, tastes all the nectar of my sweetness. Yadyapi nirmal radhar shvat prema darpan tatapi swachata tar bade kane kan. Although Radha's love is pure like a mirror, its purity increases at every moment. Amar madhurja nahi varite avakashe darpaner age nava rupe pashe. my sweetness also has no room for expansion. Newer and newer beauty. Mon madhurja radhar prema dohe hoda kori shone shone vale dohe keha nahi hori. Can you just make sure everything's there? There's constant competition between my sweetness and the mirror of Radha's love. They both go on increasing, but neither knows defeat. Amar madhurja nitya nava nava hoy shra shra premanuru bhakte asvadoy. My sweetness is always newer and newer. Devotees taste it according to their own respective love. Dorpanadye deki jodi apana madhuri ashwadite hoy lob ashwadite nadi. If I see my sweetness in the mirror, I'm tempted to taste it. But nevertheless, I cannot. Vichar koriye jodi ashwarupai radhika swarupahite tabe mon pai. If I deliberate on a way to taste it, I find that I hanker for the position of Radhika. Purport. Krishna's attractiveness is wonderful and unlimited. No one can know the end of it. Srimati Radharani alone can relish such extensiveness from her position in the Ashray category. The mirror of Srimati Radharani's transcendental love is perfectly clear, yet it appears clearer and clearest in the transcendental method of understanding Krishna. In the mirror of the transcendental features of Krishna appear increasingly new and fresh. In other words, the attraction of Krishna to Radharani. Neither wants to be defeated in increasing the intensity of love. Desiring to understand Radharani's attitude of increasing love, Lord Krishna appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Apari kalita purva kaschamatkar kori spurati mama gariyanesha madhurja pura. No, this is Sanskrit. Apari kalita purva kaschamatkar kari spurati mama gariyan esha madhurja pura. Ayamaham apihanta prekshayam lubta cheta sarabhasam upapoktum kamaye radhikeva. Who manifests an abundance of sweetness greater than mine, which has never been experienced before, and which causes wonder to all. Alas, I myself, my mind bewildered upon seeing this beauty, impetuously desire to enjoy it like Srimati Radharani. This text is from the Lalita Madhava of Srila Rupa Goswami. It was spoken by Lord Krishna when he saw the beauty of his own reflection in a jeweled fountain in Dwarka. Krishna Madhuryer Ek Subhavika Bal Krishna Adi Naranadi Koriye Chanchal. The beauty of Krishna has one natural strength. It thrills the hearts of all men and women, beginning with Lord Krishna himself. Shravane darshane akarshaye sarvamon apana asvadite Krishna koren ratan. All minds are attracted by hearing his sweet voice and flute, or by seeing his beauty. Even Lord Krishna himself makes efforts to taste that sweetness. He madhuryamrita pa shada je kore Krishna shanti nahe Krishna pade nirantara. Who always drinks the nectar of that sweetness is never satisfied. Rather, that thirst increases constantly. Atripta haya kore vidhir nindan abhigadha vidhipal na jane shrijam. Such a person, being unsatisfied, begins to blaspheme Lord Brahma, saying that he does not know the art of creating well and is simply inexperienced. Shabdila dvi tahate nimesha Krishna ki dekivo mi. He is not given millions of eyes to see the beauty of Krishna. He is given only 2 eyes, and even those eyes blink. How then shall I see the lovely face of Krishna? Atati jad pavan ani kananam Trutir yugayate tam apashyatam Kutila kuntalam shri mukam chate Jorad udikshatam Lakshma prid prasham. Atati yad bhavan ani kananam Trutir yugayate tam apashyatam Kutila kuntalam shri mukam chate Jora udikshatam Lakshma prid prasham. The gopis said, O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day and we do not see your sweet face, which is surrounded by beautiful curling hair, half a second becomes as long as an entire age for us. And we consider the Creator, who's put eyelids on the eyes we use for seeing you, to be simply a fool. This verse is spoken by the gopis in Sri. Gopyascha Krishnam upalabhya chirad abhishtam yad prekshane drishishu bhakshma utam Panti Durabam. The gopis saw their beloved Krishna at Kurukshetra after a long separation. They secured and embraced him in their hearts through their eyes, and they attained a joy so intense that not even perfect yogis can attain it. The gopis cursed the creators for creating eyelids that interfered with their vision. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 82. Krishna Avalokana Bina Netra Pal Nahiyan Ye Jon Krishna Deke She Bhagyavan. There's no consummation for the eyes other than the sight of Krishna. Whoever sees him is most fortunate indeed. Akshanvatam palamidam naparam vidama sakya pashunam viveshayator vayasyai. Bhaktram rajesha sutayor anuvaina jushtam yarva nipita manurakta kataksha moksham. The gopis said, "O friends, those eyes that see the beautiful face of the sons of Maharaj Nanda are certainly fortunate. As these two sons enter the forest, surrounded by their friends, driving the cows before them, they hold their flutes to their mouths and glance lovingly upon the residents of Vrindavan. For those who have eyes, we think there's no greater object of vision." Purport. Like the gopis, one can see Krishna continuously if one is fortunate enough. In the Brahma Samhita it is said that sages whose eyes have been smeared with the ointment of pure love can see the form of Shyam Sundar, Krishna, continuously. In this text from Srimad Bhagavatam was sung by the gopis on the advent of the Sharat season. Gopyastapa kimacharan yadamusha rupam lavanyasharam asamardvam ananya siddhyam trigpi pibanchyanusava pinavam durabham ekantatama yashasa shriya aishvarasya. The women of Mathura said, "What austerities must the gopis have performed? With their eyes, they always drink the nectar of the form of Lord Krishna, which is the essence of loveliness, the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence, ever fresh and extremely rare." This text from Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by the women of Mathura when they saw Krishna and Balaram in the arena with King Kamsa's great wrestlers, Mushtika and Choram. Mushtika and Chanuda. Apurva Madhuri Krishner, Apurva Tarval, Yahar Shravane Mon Hoy Tolamal. The sweetness of Lord Krishna is unprecedented, and its strength is also unprecedented. Simply by one's hearing of such beauty, the mind becomes unsteady. Krishnera Madhurje Krishne Upajoy Log Samyak Ashwadite Nade Mane Rahe Ko. Lord Krishna's own beauty attracts Lord Krishna himself. But because he cannot fully enjoy it, his mind remains full of sorrow. Etadvitiya hetur kohila vivaran tritiya hetur eve shunaha vakam. This is a description of his second desire. Now please listen as I describe the third. So we'll stop here. Lord Krishna wanted to experience the love that Srimati Radharani experiences, and he wanted to taste the sweetness of himself, which he was unable to taste because he's Krishna. He can't appreciate what the other devotees are seeing in him. He can't taste the sweetness that Srimati Radharani tastes because he's on the other side. So therefore he takes the position of Srimati Radharani so that he can taste her love and taste his own sweetness. And we'll hear about the third reason in our next session. And we can stop here. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. And who's doing Kirtan today? Purva Prabhu, who's doing Kirtan today?
I'll do kirtan.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajaka Ashtottara Satashi Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Sridhar Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Jayādvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kundgiri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Ramana Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna,
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna,
All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Thank you to Haridas Prabhu and Apurva and Kamalini and Meena Devi. And thank you to all. And I'm running. I have a flight to Nepal this morning, just a quick 3-day trip. So I have to zip out. Thank you all. Hare
Safe
Krishna.
journeys, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And nice to see you, Atina, after some days. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Haribo. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Some of Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. Or Premanande. Hare Hare.